out on the factory, so I thought we'd just do the stuff in here today. So I'm just going to go through, just going to do a live packing video basically. So these are, if you've ordered and you are based out with the UK, there's a good chance that your order will actually get packed live on YouTube. So if your partner, wife, etc. is not aware that you have bought, turn the volume down or watch it at night. Right, so first up, I'd actually packed this, but I wanted to do this for Kyle because he's ordered quite a lot recently, and it's always nice to see your order getting packed and just maybe have a quick chat about the waxes. So Kyle is a wax aficionado. Absolutely loves his waxes, and we are so happy that, and I mean this is, from the bottom of my heart, I am so grateful and thankful that Kyle trusts us with his waxes, and to protect his car and whatnot. So again, thank you very much, Kyle. It's much appreciated. So obviously, nice big sturdy box for this because it is going to the States. Those of you that know the company, we ship internationally. It doesn't matter where you stay, we will get the parcel to you. So let's start off. What did Kyle buy? So first up, he went for, in fact, I'll just do it as it comes out the box. Probably a wee bit easier that way. So Kyle had his eye on Parma. So Parma is one of my favourite waxes. I've got a thick accent, so I'll bring the... So this is Parma. So the reason I like this wax so much is it's a wet look wax, but it's actually the feeling on the paint that's quite unique. So it gives this almost silk-like feel on the paint. Again, it's a natural wax, so the beauty with this is you can leave it on the paint for quite a long time, especially at this time of year. Upwards of 45 minutes is absolutely fine. The longer, the better. Mainly because the oils in there, they're not flashing off, so they need to dry out. It's a slower process, but the final finish is much better. So that's the first one, is Parma. Got another 6 boxes to go. There are some doubles in here as well. So Empire, this is now sold out, so Kyle got the last few jars of that. Empire's really nice wax again. Wet look wax. Kyle quite likes the wet look finish. So another. Empire is in the luxury range. So in terms of the quality and ingredients, you're getting pretty much to as high a level as we offer. Obviously, we've got Jordan, Lily, and now my favourite, Samaya. So you've got Samaya as the best wax that we offer. And it's right up at the very top of the range. Cafe, if you like your coffee in the morning, you will love Cafe. It's made from real coffee beans. And more than that, it's super glossy. So it's a really nice wax. Very easy to use as well. You'll find that the natural waxes are so much more easy to use than the petrochemical waxes, just simply because they're not flashing off as quickly. Great wax this. It's been very popular. I don't know if we've got any left on the website actually, but you can double check. So Hiroko, 200ml jar, yellow, obviously limited edition labels with this as well. So our normal labels look like, normal labels, where are you? They look like that. So you've got the logo, the name, and then it will say normally the characteristic of the wax so that you don't need to delve through the website if you're out in the garage or shed or whatever it might be. And then made in the UK as well. I'll just pack this as we go because UPS will be here soon. That's the other jar of Empire. Again, because of his spend, he got a free complimentary jar, a free jar of Jordan. So there you go, lovely wax. Amelia. So this is just back on the website, guys. I've got 50 mils and 200 mils. The 50 mils are a really good buy because this is actually a 100 ml jar, so you get much more than 50 ml. We use this jar because it's got a wider mouth. It's easier to pour into as well, and it matches the luxury range. So Amelia, it's a concourse wax. Amelia Island. If you've got the time, have a look on YouTube. So Amelia Island is the first concourse event of the year. It's in January. I think it's a fabulous, a really great event. To be fair, lots of car enthusiasts, of course. Quality of vehicles on show, second to none. It's only in Florida. The great thing is we can fly direct from the UK, so you get the chance taking up over. Trossachs, love this wax. Is there anything under £100 that comes close to this? I don't think so. This is a phenomenal wax. So you've got two options, I would say, at the £100 mark. You've got Heather or you've got Trossachs. Trossachs is a wet look, probably better suited to metallics. Heather is a solid gloss, so probably better on solid paint and darker paint. Although this looks really good on black, any sort of really dark colours like navy blue, it looks very good on that as well. Right, okay, send me a wee message with that and we'll look into it. There is every chance, obviously the weather has not been in our favour, so Vision is a water-based product, and by the sounds of it, it sounds as if it's maybe got damaged on the way there, so it's maybe frozen overnight. So the frost can, as we discussed in the previous videos, the frost can really affect the products, especially things, weirdly enough, like beading, which is one of the characteristics of Vision. So send me an email and we can just get a new bottle out to you. So Opulence, fantastic. Again, another great wax. Kyle's got a really good eye for waxes. As you can see, he's buying within the core range, the upper core range, and the luxury range. So these are our best waxes, really. They're all very different, though. This one here is made from real chocolate, of all things. And yeah, so cacao infused wax. Fancy way to say it's made from chocolate. Really nice, limited edition gold jar. And with this wax and ingredients that we've used, it's a very glossy wax. So again, really nice to use, very slippery on the surface as well, so very easy to spread. This is probably my favourite wax. If someone emails or phones and says, John, I've got £50 to spend, what do you recommend? Azure. Azure is the wax to go for. It will knock the socks off of pretty much anything else that we don't make under £100 to £150. This is an extremely good wax. It is petrochemical and natural based, so you get a bit of both to do. To be honest, it's a hybrid wax in terms of it's not fully natural, it's not fully petrochemical. So if you like the quick flashing of petrochemical waxes, go for this one, or RPM is your other option, but RPM is not natural. It's got no natural ingredients aside from the waxes. It's petrochemical based, hence the price point. But again, it's a funny one because RPM is our best selling wax. So it's a very good wax. I think it's just what you're used to. Certainly, as you can see with Kyle here, once he made the transition to the natural waxes, Kyle, he's put in quite a few orders recently, to be fair, and he's really focusing on the higher end stuff. So, and again, thank you very much for that, Kyle. It is much appreciated. So we'll just get this packed up, and that's the 100ml Passion Wax. So there's a brand new wax available on the website just now. I just want to make sure of something here. Yep. So he's due. So this is quite normal, especially with the Black Friday sale. Kyle, this is 3 orders and another 2 pieces to that order. So he's also due the 200 ml passion as well because of his spend. So I was just double checking that was in with the order. Right, so we've got another international order here, and this is going to China. So to start off with, because of the spend, they have got so Chen. Good afternoon to you, good evening, or good morning, depending on what time it is. I could actually tell you because it will be 5 to 10. It's probably one of the things because I own the company. I really take a big interest in my customers. So if I start to see um, someone buying, like Chen has bought quite a few times recently, we've got a phone that just sits next to the laptop. It's mainly for WhatsApp, but I'll put the world clock on it just to keep me right, so that if we do get WhatsApp messages, I'm not messaging you, at 2 o'clock in the morning. The same with the States, so we'll do Eastern time and West. We probably won't really use Central because there's not a massive difference between it. And then obviously we've got bits and pieces over in the East, so we've got quite a large customer base in the Arabian Peninsula, so that will take in the likes of Saudi, Qatar, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates as well. Asia, obviously, various sort of countries, a lot of countries within there, to be fair, and then obviously mainland China as well. So, and those of you that know me know that I have visited China, and I think it was I really really enjoyed my time there. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Great country. Obviously, it's absolutely massive. We travelled around a bit, so we saw the city life and some village life as well, or what we were told was village, but it was more like sort of our cities. Yeah, fantastic, lovely people, great food as well, and I would highly recommend it. We used, I think it was China Air. We flew out of Manchester directly to Beijing. Beijing was fantastic, very friendly. Everything you could ever want under the sun. Very safe as well. I would just sort of commend the citizens as well. Extremely safe. No big parties, even in the city. No big parties. So if you like that type of thing, and they've got everything available. They've got beach resorts. If you're going over there for business as well as we did, you can tie that in with sort of restaurants and stuff. So just, yeah, very nice. I would highly recommend China to anyone that's thinking of going. It was a very very nice country to visit. Now, Alpine. Let's get on with Mr. Chen's order. So Alpine is our winter car wax. Again, the climate's not too different to the UK. Funnily enough, in the summer it certainly gets a lot warmer, but coming into the winter it's very similar because it's quite far north if you look at it on a map. I'm giving my age away here because obviously when I remember it as the USSR, but obviously now it's all split up. So again, similar weather system to ourselves, but a bit warmer in the summer than what we get. Now, Azure as well. Again, Chen, I would say, has probably been watching the videos because Azure is one of my favourite waxes and at this price point, and I really do bang on about it. RPM, so that's just back in stock, guys. Again, RPM, it's an easy choice. Find a lot of customers that are new to the company. They will choose RPM just because it's a bestseller. So if you sort the website into best-selling products, that will come up trumps. Again, good choice as well, Chen. So you've went for it. This is a great buy. So these jars, we had to make some Le Mans and I happen to have these jars. They're actually these are 150 ml jars. There's probably about 100 ml in there. We're selling them as 80, just because it's slightly below the lip. This is a 150 ml jar, so you've definitely got about 100 ml, or you've at minimum you've got 100 ml in there, I should say. What else have we got? Uncharted, lovely wax. This is a brand new wax that we have just released. Nice natural pour, no colorants or anything like added to this, only the fragrance. It's a show car wax for winter. That's the best way to describe it. And then Haroko. Again, lovely wax. This is a higher end version. So think of it, it's always easier to do this like cars because we're all into cars, so it kind of pigeonholes things. It's quicker, I guess. Even though you can get an AMG A-Class, but we'll use this just as an example. So if you think of Uncharted as your A-Class type of stuff, then you're going up to your C-Class would be your Hirokos, your Azures, that would kind of bring them in together. Your E-Class, you're then at the upper course, so that would be the likes of Pioneer. What else have you got up at that range? So Octane would be the other one. Lavender as well, fantastic wax. Then you're going up to your S-Class type of stuff. So that's really Rannoch, Elegance, Armour, Philip, Montgomery. And then above that, you're going into, let's call it Maybach. If we're sticking within the kind of Mercedes custom brand. So you're going right up to the top, which is your Samaya type stuff. So that kind of, but just go by price. The price is an accurate representation of the cost of ingredients because there's a direct, excuse me, there's a direct correlation to the price of the wax to the cost of the ingredients. We obviously made the decision not to sell waxes on certain, or we made the decision to have the company as transparent as possible so that if you come in and you buy a wax at £50 and then you buy a wax at £100, the wax at £100 will be significantly better than the wax at 50. However, you might actually prefer the wax, and this is where it gets interesting. You might actually prefer the wax at £50 than the one at 100. We have a customer who this is going back a while now. We'd made a wax for Detailing World, which was a really nice wax, kind of like the quality of Azure RPM, just about that level. And they then bought Lavender. Now, Lavender at that point had been around for a while, quite a lot of reviews, had a good following, and it sold well. So I luckily didn't have to question myself on that one. But the customer preferred the usage of the Detailing World wax. And what it boiled down to is he liked to go panel by panel, and he liked the fact so petrochemical waxes are not good to apply to the whole car because they can be quite stubborn to remove unless you put in some ingredients to make that easier. So he actually preferred that, whereas Lavender is much better suited to someone that wants to achieve the best finish and they don't mind leaving the wax on the paint for 45 to 50 minutes. So that's the difference. RPMs, you're kind of 10 to 15 minute curing time. Lavender is longer. We tend to find that, and that is definitely an anomaly within the company, because most of our customers work their way up, and as they work their way out, like Kyle's doing, like Mrs. Chen is doing as well. I've got another customer here that's probably a prime example. So, and we'll get to that as well. Right, so that's that order done. We'll go on to this one. This is quite a nice order here. So this is going to Japan. The order is in Japanese. Sadly, I am still not fully fluent. I use Google Translate for that type of thing. Quite interesting. I quite like that with the orders from Japan, and you see like obviously the beer Sapporo or Akita. So you're seeing all the names that we're kind of familiar with. If it's a liquor or a beer, a liqueur, sorry, a beer, an animal like the Akita, something like that. It's quite interesting, and obviously you've got the surnames as well. So you've once we translate them, and it's maybe Honda, all these names that you've kind of grown up with, and you start to piece it together. So yeah, very and as you can see, I do take an interest in where our customers are from. I think it's the least that I could do, considering that you trust us with your car care regime. So first up, Titan, wonderful product. The most show car sealant that I've ever used. The best thing about this is not only the ease of use, but the finish you get at the end. It's so easy to use. It's one of these products that there isn't anything to compare it to, because the feedback that we continually receive from this is, I didn't realize it was going to be this easy. And I think it's because we've all grown up with this type of product that's sticky, it's difficult to remove, and it doesn't. This is almost like a glass polish in terms of the efficiency or the smear free finish that it gives. So it's very, very good. I really like that product. It's probably something, if you were to ask me, you know, what would you go without, it would be, or what would you not go without, sorry, it would be Titan. Titan Pure. They're two products that, because there isn't really anything like. The market is very focused, obviously, on the ceramic stuff. But as we know, that isn't for everyone. It's certainly not something that I'm overly interested in. We do offer SiO2 products. Obviously, we have the ceramic coating as well, and it is very good. It's just not something that really does it for me. So, yeah, just one of these things, I guess. 50ml Uncharted. This is a really nice one, so stick around for this order, guys, because it's well worth the wait. 100ml Passion, wax free as well. Quite a good selection of free products that you get just now, especially if you are into your waxes. Right, okay, so I need to get the box for this one. So this was a one of one wax that we had, and I'm just looking for. I had the box for this so that I wasn't tempted to use it for anything else. So this is Amelia, but it is the one of one. So if you saw this on the newsletter, I love these boxes. Absolutely love them. Just makes it more of an event, really. So I'll give you a look at it. So that's the timber box. Obviously, it's still to get the label on it, but really very nice presentation. And they were very lucky, really lucky with this, because there we go. We only had one available, so well done. Just a wee bit of tape to seal that up once it's got the label on. Gold Rush 60ml incoming. So this is how the Gold Rush will arrive, guys. It won't look as if there's any glitter. This is just a top layer to seal the glitter in so that it doesn't decide to go everywhere. And obviously glitter's a bit heavier than the rest of the stuff, so that's why it comes like that. I can see them. There we go. Then you've got, this is like a presidential stamp. It's quite good. It kind of looks like the United States gold seal. So in terms of the Gold Rush Rally wax, we're really low. If that's a wax that you fancy getting, then go on just now because it is really, really low. Trossachs 40ml. This was one of the waxes that we sent the newsletter about last night. So these are the limited edition tins. They're all different colours. I'm just going to get the label for this. So in terms of Trossachs limited editions, I've got 2 left. And once they're sold out, that's it. We won't be bringing them back in. It was just just something different. Another limited run, right? So they're all 1 of 1. That's fine. Customer had dropped their jar and the lid had chipped, so I'll stick in a new lid with the lavender label as well. That's fine. This is for Brent. So Brent will probably make this wax tomorrow. This is a 1 of 1 bespoke wax, so it's like the top wax that you can get. Interestingly enough, 33% carnauba content. So I think that's absolutely fantastic. The reason being is the higher the T1 content, the less room that you've got for other waxes. And it's quite interesting, guys, because as far as waxes go, carnauba isn't an overly expensive wax. So when we are looking at our luxury waxes, this is why I don't really like to sell them as percentage, T1 percentage, simply because the ingredients that we're using, and most of the waxes, to be fair, they're far more expensive than carnauba wax. And whilst carnauba wax is a must-have, it's quite unique in the sense of how hard it is and how hard it sets. But there are a multitude of other ingredients that are far superior and that you want in your wax as well. So if you ramp up your T1 content, it really reduces the space for other stuff. Just think of it like, I don't know, say you order a cocktail. There's a good example for 1 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. Say you order a cocktail and they fill the glass absolutely, to the brim with crushed ice. Then they bring out the rum or whatever you're having. They start to pour the rum in, and then it looks as if you've got a glass of rum, but in fact, what you've got is a glass of ice. So again, similar concept. The higher the T1 of your wax, the lower the percentage of the other waxes. We know this because it's a percentile thing. But the lower the percentage of the other waxes and ingredients for that matter, because what you're doing is, it's like the naughty kid in school, sometimes they're appeased because it's just easier to do that. T1 carnauba brings challenges. If you put the T1 content too high, you've got to bring other stuff to appease the blend. Yes, we've got, just because it was requested, I made a wax that had 80% T1. Whilst it is a lovely wax, it's definitely not a wax I would use myself. So there's the truth. I wouldn't typically go above anything of 45-50%, really. Simply because I know the other waxes that are better and that will actually look better in the blend. So that's why you'll find our waxes, the majority of our waxes are they're sort of buttery soft. Usability, hopefully very easy to use. But the main thing is, and again, there's a great example. So the 80% T1 wax that I made, I think was £100. Again, I don't put a lot of weight behind T1, or there shouldn't be a lot of weight put behind T1 because it's definitely needed. It's like tires on your car, you definitely need them, but if you want to go fast, you need a powerful engine. So there's more to it. Sorry, YouTube are quite quick to flash the comments up and put them away, so I'll reply to any comments once this is uploaded. Right, so next up we've got I'm going to nickname you 007 because I know that you like your aliases, so you know who you are. Based in the States, and that's all we'll say. So you've got your complimentary Jordan with this one. You've got your 50mm Mason. This is a fantastic wax for dark coloured paint. Yes, it's advertised for black, but dark coloured paint. Very nice indeed. Pioneer. Between the two, Pioneer does trump it. It's a more expensive wax. So again, we're going back to that same thing of the further up the scale you go, the better the quality. It's like everything, or it should be like everything. The more money you spend on a car, it should be a better quality. But we know that Toyota are the standout one in that group. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you buy £100,000 car nowadays and you get something that's very reliable. So yes, in our company, it does work that way. That if you buy RPM and then you buy, let's say, Heather, you'll see quite a big difference between the two. Again, Azure, even if you just jump up to Azure, which is not too different in terms of the price point, but you will notice the difference. It's a much nicer, it's a better wax. It just gives me a wee bit more freedom to get better stuff inside. So there's a bit of inside information. Once you touch the £50 and above mark, there's quite a leap in terms of the quality of ingredients. And then again, you'll find a substantial leap round about the 1 to 185. So the core waxes, things like your Masons, your Rossos, you'll find a big a big a big jump. I was thinking about the Toyota Land Cruiser there when I was talking about these, because I saw the price of the new Land Cruiser, which I would love, and it deeply disturbs me that Lexus don't offer. I'm not in that price bracket at the moment. Why Lexus don't offer their Land Cruiser equivalent in the UK? To me, it's absolutely madness, because you're bringing in a car. Obviously, Range Rover in the UK is very popular, but the Lexus 4x4 is a beast of a car. It's a phenomenal car. Yes, it's very expensive, but you could buy that. You could buy that and probably never replace it. It's a phenomenal car. It just softens the edges of the Land Cruiser. That's it. You're getting a Land Cruiser essentially, but it's a wee bit more luxurious, kind of like the Nissan Patrol. That's another absolute phenomenal 4x4. But for some reason, our wee island in the UK, we just seem to miss out on all of these. I mean, they've only recently brought back the Toyota Camry, which is just madness, because at one point the Ford Focus, or as we knew it, the Ford Escort, was one of the most popular cars. If they brought out the Camry at the same point, it's legendary status in nearly every other continent. But yeah, we don't get it. So anyway, rant over. We don't even get muscle cars. Ridiculous. So there you go. Mason, 100mm Passion Wax. I think they've got more out on the factory floor. I've not got any left in there. Pioneer, Hiroko. Again. Montgomery, I've got one of these left, guys. So just the wee metal tins. Montgomery. This is a 30mm jar, and you're there or thereabouts. Yeah. We used to do these quite often. They're called overpours. Just when I make a wax and we've not got enough to fill a full jar, so we just put them into a few smaller tins. Again, it's a nice way to get a wax. Glasgow, of course. Well done. That's you and me best friends now since you've bought my city wax. Sample liquid and the unreleased Uncharted. So again, Uncharted is a winter show car wax. The only way you can get this right now, guys, if you spend over £50 on the website, which, as many of you know, is very easy to do in the detailing world because you go on to buy one thing and you come away with a trolley full of stuff. It's just like when you go to Aldi or Lidl. I'm just going to see if I've got any samples remaining. I do somewhere. There we go. That's not the right one. That's a Vision. I think they're out in the box. I took a box out earlier on. There we go. So that's us. I just picked a few out of the international stuff that came in. So order for Japan, ending 3499. This is in Japanese, hence why I can't pronounce the name. Chen, your order 3497. Brent, your order should be ready tomorrow. All going well. In fact, you've got a plaque on that, don't you? So probably Friday or Monday, actually. The plaques are taking a couple of days. We had a snap of snow in the UK, and it can slow down because all of our stuff is road transit mainly, so it can slow down the delivery there. And then order ending 3471 for James Bond. Oh, and Kyle as well. Can't forget you. Obviously, we covered Kyle's order right at the beginning. So, Kyle, yeah, you know your orders. We've been WhatsApping, and there's about 3 or 4 orders in there ready to go. So, let's get them booked in with UPS. And what we're finding is China, 2 to 4 working days for delivery. Amazingly enough, we are getting 2 to 3 days within the US. So I won't give away your locations, but if we are going for the East Coast, 2 days, we're going to the West Coast, 3, possibly 4, but we are seeing 2 to 3 days. Obviously, we are coming into winter now, guys, and we are coming into the Christmas season. So yeah, of course, Mark, no problem at all. You can add to them. I think, weirdly enough, yeah. So I think, Mark, I think your order might be the Hiroko 50 mils. What happened there is the jars that we used for the Hiroko are a different size to the labels that came in. But I've just had an email before we went live there to say the labels have been sent today, so they'll be with us tomorrow. So if you place your order just now, or within the next, before tomorrow afternoon, I can just bundle everything in together. And what I said, I don't know if you caught that on the Facebook Live video, because you've put in a few separate orders, what I'll do is I'll refund the postage on them as well, because we can combine them. It's easier for us as well. It means it's just one box going out. And then Mr. Bakes as well, you are in the same position. So the Hiroko labels will be in tomorrow. We had the 200 mils, but the jar, weirdly enough, it's only a few millimeters of a difference on the width. But I'm just not happy with it. So we just decided to redo the labels. Sorry, YouTube is very frustrating because the message comes up and then disappears straight away. So, as I said, we'll upload the video just now, and I'll just go through any comments, reply to them, anyone that I didn't get to, and happy days. Remember, the Black Friday sale's on, fully live now, so you can get up to 50% on everything. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.